Hey, and welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be getting into a new book called The Octunnumi, and the author's name is Trevor Allen Foris. Now, I would appreciate it if you guys could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and grab your drinks, grab your snacks, or sit back, relax, and let's get to it, shall we? The Octunnumi does not exist. Phosphid and any files relating to a phosphid do not exist. The Terralan peoples that protect and provide sanctuary for the Aviditans of Fethris are not real. The abilities of the Terralan peoples, with their heightened skills, living in their utopian world, are myth. Their purpose here? Mere tales. Rumors of their reincarnations, enabling them to live many lives? Ridiculous. And there is definitely no magic. None at all. No, really, there isn't. Magic is not a thing. There are also no hidden worlds or mythical beings coexisting just out of sight. Equally, there are no secret access points to their hidden world. That don't exist. And there is no unfinished business from the past that is set to destroy, well, anything. Anyway, regardless of any potential threat that may or may not be present, this publication, The Octunnumi, and any reference to any other beings is a work of fiction. And, for the record, Scariodints, should they exist, are perfectly loving beings whose purpose in life is grossly misunderstood. Octunnumi, an ongoing entity, existence, series, or whole that lasts, endures, maintains, and retains, whether as an establishment, course, or action, the Octunnumi, offering protection. Introductionaries. Words from Trevor. When first approached to transcribe my transmissions of the daily reports into print, I was bemused. Which beings, I asked myself, would not want to listen to my marvelous daily renditions, bouncing across the airways as has been the way for several millennia? Apparently quite a few. In fact, I discovered to my dismay the entire population of the Aratularis. I apologize if I say any names wrong here on out. Dismiss the art of auditory entertainment in favor of reading. A noble pastime, have no doubt. However, to my astonishment, this revelation reveals that my work is completely unknown in these parts, and so, to redress this terrible state of affairs, wheels have, as it were, been set in motion to bring you the beings of Araturalis, the first of many adventures in printed form. You will, of course, be familiar with the Octunnumi and its mission, but not, it would appear, with its day-to-day activities, workings, and operations, and more importantly, of its operatives, who tirelessly protect the Innosomids. in the pursuit of keeping their inhabitants safe. Well, my friends, brace yourselves, for here, within these words, you will be transported to the world of the Tyrillian people, a people whose skills and abilities mere mortals strive to replicate, able to regenerate, capable of many lives while ensuring a utopian existence for the beings they watch over. You will learn of the spectacular Tyrillian Nelia sector that they call home. Be privy to the inner sanctum of the Alliance operatives and discover that unfinished business from the past threatens to reveal the Octunnumi and the very existence of those that they protect. Disastrous for humanity and fairly nasty for the rest of us. Enjoy. Before things, there is thought. Before thought, there is Tyrillian. Before Tyrillian, there is the Octunnumi. Are you insane? Octunnumi Alliance operatives, Regius Sedwint Annexius and Traden Everwick Thievimus, currently enjoying their most recent regeneration as 18-year-olds for the umpteenth time, crouch their backs against one of the many concrete pillars that support the crumbling roof of the abandoned warehouse. Through the gloom, overturned boxes, crates, tables, and chairs that lie scattered about the vast space of highlighted by the purple moonlit filtering through the begrimed windows high above them. We don't have time for this, Trad, Reg continues in a hissed whisper to his twin. If she finds out. Relax, Trad replies, flicking his hand in the direction of a stack of large crates opposite them. When they collapse and reveal nothing, he grumbles. Damn it, I could have sworn. Relax, Reg exclaims. You've brought us to an insomid we are not supposed to be in. Slap. In the middle of a streaks of white light zap across them, dislodging Reg's hat and sending it spinning on its side across the floor. Rolling his eyes, he continues. A war zone. When we should in fact be heading to Foris. Also in Inzomid, not on our to-do list, I might add, but given where we actually are, that would be preferable. Oh, listen to Mr. Grumpy, Trad sniggers, pulling off his coat and slinging it over a crate. As a bolt of white light screeches overhead, slamming against the wall behind them. Look, he grins. This won't take long, and anyway, there's an access point to Foris right here. We have plenty of time. Come on. Throwing himself down, Trad starts to crawl along the floor, following the line of old crates and boxes randomly stacked around the edges. Sighing at the inevitability of the situation. Reg carefully removes his coat, hanging it on a protruding steel support. He glances sideways at his top hat as it rocks itself to a standstill in the middle of the fight zone. Sighing again, he follows his brother. Okay, Reg continues. I'm up for a laugh, same as the next guy. He stops, interrupted by several white streaks hurtling past his face. But this is so demoralizing. Having made it over to the next pile of crates, Trad signals silently back to Reg across the void to circle around while he heads for the stairs. Why me? Reg mouths furiously. You do it. Trad throws an exasperated look to the heavens. Caught off guard, Reg's head fills with Trad's voice. Because I have them in my sights. I need a Scariodinant, and unless you have one on hand, you are the Scariodinant. He pauses for a moment, waiting for the response. Get out of my head, Trad. Reg glares at his brother. Not allowed to use our minds to communicate, remember? You get out of mine. He throws back as they stare at each other for a moment. Whatever. Trad's voice fades as he leaves Reg's head, at the same time mouthing a frustrated, well, to his brother. Okay, Reg mouths back. Taking a breath, he stands and doubles back to their original position. A barrage of fire erupts around him, illuminating the entire room, hurling him face down behind a pile of packing crates. As streaks of light bombard the fascia, maneuvering to get a better view across the warehouse floor, Reg focuses on the upturned tables from where the shots came, tossing them to one side with a slight gesture of his hand. There, he thinks, as he follows the faint ripple of the movement that disappears behind a stack of empty cardboard boxes. With a flick of a finger, he crushes them instantly. Nothing. Where the hell? He clocks Trad, heading towards the stairs, and runs for the nearest pillar, firepower following each move. Every time, he mutters to himself between shots. Every time. Trad, sprinting up the stairs, two at a time, squats below the window of the office door. As he reaches the top, a slight hand gestures and the door starts to open. Trad! Reg yells as something catches his eye. On your right! A further burst of firepower instantly drowns out his voice. Manipulating the air with a jerk of his hand, Trad swings the door wide open, where it jams on the floor, blocking the shots coming from the suspended walkway. In the same moment, he rolls into the disused office space, slamming the door closed behind him. Cabinet drawers hanging open, little smiley faces drawn in the dirt on the cracked windows overlooking the warehouse floor below. The discarded papers scattered about the floor and desktop shift slightly with his arrival. Scanning through the particles of dust just hang in the purple light filling the room. Trad looks for anything not quite right, anything a touch out of place. anything odd. Satisfied that the room is empty, he tracks the footprints that lead across the floor and figures there must be 3, maybe 4, waiting for him in the room beyond. The door from the stairs swings open behind him. Jeez, Reg. He lets out a breath and lowers his hand as his brother crawls in beside him. Took long much? He snips. Oh, excuse me, Reg hisses, but unlike you, I didn't have a scariant. I got here on my own. Whatever. Trad dismisses his brother's sarcasm and continues. Okay, as I see it, we have 3, maybe 4, he indicates the footprints and the door in front of them. And you've checked in here? Reg asks as he glances around. Yes, Trad states, throwing his brother a withering look. So, do we crash through the windows, smash the door in, or send in the cavalry? He pulls back his coat to reveal smoke grenades. You wouldn't, Reg asks, smiling. Hey, I didn't come here to lose, Trad replies. Really? Reg asks, because, suddenly blinded by dazzling light filling the room, they hear a series of clicks echoing around them as the purple gloom returns, and with it their sight. Little red dots dance across their chests. We always do, Reg sighs. Do what? Trad chuckles as he stands up. Lose. Reg grumbles, standing and facing his brother. We always lose. Oh, but that was good. Trad bear hugs him, slapping his shoulder for good measure. Wasn't that good? Tracking the dancing lasers to the back of the room. He has the vague sense of movement, nothing solid, more a shimmering fluidity. Well done, he says to the emptiness, still trying to pinpoint an image. He continues, so come on, where are you? I could have sworn you were in there. The lasers vanish as he indicates the door to the closed-off room, right here. Reg flinches as the closeness of the voice, a faint rippling outline, is just about visible to his left. Impressive. Trad smiles, nodding his approval, turning and peering at the area from where the voice came. And here, adds another voice directly behind him. Whoa, he laughs, spinning sharply, groping the air, trying to find the source of the voice. Hey. Gradually, the figure of a young girl appears. Trad is messing up her hair. Sorry, he says, trying to sectify the tangle. Get off, she says, slapping his hand away as 2 others gradually materialize behind her. Good to see you checked the room, Reg says, flatly, as the door behind them flies open and the room fills with a sense of more presence. You are so hopeless, a disembodied voice smirks. We win every time, adds a second. When, a third asks, are you going to admit defeat? The full attack team, consisting of 8 young girls ranging in age from 10 to 13, is now present and visible in the room. Although diverse in appearance, and ethnicity all bear a similarity, one that's hard to pinpoint, a sort of sameness, plain, nondescript. Is that all of you? Reg asks, having done a quick head count. The smallest one of the group nods. But there's only 8 of you, and you are so tiny. And girls, she smirks. Don't forget, girls. I know how much that one bothers you. She gives him a big smile as she hands over his coat. I have no problem with being beaten by girls, he replies dryly, taking it and putting it on. It's girls who don't play fair that bother me. Oh, and smoke grenades? She counters, glancing at Trad, who grins back at her. Not to mention the whole brain chatter you two have going on. She gestures from one to the other. Anyway, is it my fault you don't see what is right in front of you? We still win, says another, holding up Trad's coat. Best of 3, Trad offers, taking it. We've already done best of 3 like 5 times now. Well, if you're not up to it, Trad smiles broadly, steering up a flurry of papers and purple dust as he swings his coat around to put it on. But you haven't won any. Another butts in. Come on, give us a chance, Trad smiles. You way outnumber us, right, Reg? There's 8. Trad. Reg replies without emotion. 8. And they are children, Trad. I hardly call that being outnumbered. Are you on my side or not? Trad asks. There were at least 20 last time, Reg mutters. At least. The smallest of the group slowly shakes her head and mouths 10 while gesturing 1, 0 with her hand. Okay, one more time, the lead girl says. But then you have to pay the forfeit, deal? Only if we lose, Trad responds. You'll lose, she smiles. We'll see. He offers his hand and they shake. Till next time, suckers, she says as she turns and leaves the room. Well, Reg comments as the girls make their way to the ground floor by various means, sliding down the railing, abseiling on seemingly invisible string, running along the gantry and free-falling into boxes below. That was fun. Wasn't it? Trad says joyfully. Yeah, 'cause losing is always uplifting. You're just being a grump. Seriously, why do gentlemen? Seated on the edge of the desk, her long legs crossed and swinging, the skirt of her neat beige two-piece suit stopping just above her knee, on which Reg's hat is perched. The form of Ectrovia Seisman Tulig materializes. Like her students, Ectrovia's presence is currently not in any way remarkable, being of an equally nondescript appearance, shoulder length, mousy hair, unnoteworthy features, build and mannerisms all of the bland nature, nothing requiring any conscious thought to engage with, and yet somehow you wanted to. Ectrovia was, for no logical reason, a person you instantly liked. A person you would trust with everything and not know quite why. A person who could haunt your thoughts forever, or if she chose, a person you would instantly forget. This was, of course, exactly how it should be. Ectrovia had discovered a long time ago that she possessed the ability to be all things to all people, in all places at all times, to be able to soak up the atmosphere, the environment, the feelings, and if, such as today, the situation demanded, become it. And so, Ectrovia was both plain and beautiful, dull and immensely charming, the life and soul and the unseen. Ectrovia was of the Olencanthium Collective, a group of beings having a skill set that was, to say the least, unnerving. The talents that had been years in the perfecting, and now she taught her students diligently, passing her skills on so that they too could develop such abilities. Some were naturals, most were not. All could be taught. Cheese, Reg mutters, startled by her presence, clutching his chest in shock. How long have you been there? I am not sure there is ever a time when I am not, she replies smoothly. Yours, I believe? She smiles, handing Reg his hat. Ectrovia, Trad beams. And that's not weird, Reg states, regaining his composure, taking his hat and placing it on his head while gesturing at the now empty warehouse below. He continues, well, there you are. We let your girls win again and again. They leave victorious at our expense. My dear, dear Reg, she oozes, the tone of her voice melting into the room. I am not so sure you let my girls win anything, are you? Sliding from the desk, she almost seems to disappear as she stands, and yet not quite, carefully adjusting her black turtleneck and smoothing her black slacks as she smiles up at Reg. I must say, I am rather enjoying this new regime, she says, smiling at the two boys. The chiseled good looks. Reg blushes. The beautiful blue eyes. She turns to Trad, who beams. Ah, and that smile. She pauses for a moment, taking them both in. So, like your father. She smiles, and running her hands through her cropped, bleached hair, turns her attention to the desk behind her. What? No way, Trad exclaims. We're nothing like him. Let me tell you, your father is a very handsome man, she murmurs, smiling at a memory, and continues, a little more rugged, perhaps, but such a charmer. Her words trailing off as she drifts into thought. I am telling you, Reg mutters, as he leans closer to Trad. If Mum finds out we are here. Relax, Trad grins. By the time we see Mum again, this'll be wiped. He gestures Ectrovia and the room. Ah, memories of old, Ectrovia says quietly to herself, and then Bringing her focus back to the now, she continues, "So, darlings, you have been just divine," she breathes, turning to face them, her sculpted features, high cheekbones, shimmering lips, and smoldering charcoal eyes, smiling back at them. "Wonderful of you both to give up your time. I know my students truly appreciate your efforts, as of course do I." The smiles, and for a moment, when she smiles, neither boy can speak, neither one can breathe. So overwhelming is her beauty. "We," she says, breaking the spell, swinging her briefcase off the desk and heading to the open door. "At the Tulish Finishing School for Young Ladies," the sound of her stilettos clicking across the floor, and a vague shimmering image are all that remain as she finishes, "are forever in your debt." And that is where we are going to leave it today. Tune in next time. And as always, my dear friends, this is Ruby signing off.